Good evening, everybody. My name is Roshario. I'm the owner of Blue Touch Cleaning Services.
And I'm AJ. I'm the manager of Blue Touch Cleaning Service, and I also have my own business of AJ's Carpet Cleaning Services LLC.
Okay, yes, he does. So he's a big asset to me, guys. He does all my carpet cleanings. It's good having a companion that can kiss you in the business so you can subcontract all your work out as well. So think about that too as well. So it can be more beneficial for you. Moving right along. So this evening we're going to talk about a specific contract that they wanted us to have a lot of requirements that we weren't comfortable with, so we didn't take the
Right.
contract. So we're going to touch on quite a few areas and subjects of the contract that stood out to us. So you won't go through the same thing, and you can get a little bit more experience on what to look for. Make sure you always look over your contract, who the contract is with, um, as far as the start times, when you will be starting the job, when you will finish the job, things like that of that nature. Um, one issue that came to us on the contract, which was incorrect, is they wanted to be covered under our insurance. And we have $1 million insurance,
Yeah, $1 million.
$1 million insurance, okay? And they wanted to be under our insurance. They're
Mm-hmm.
already a subcontractor on this job, and we were just doing a post construction cleanup. Okay, and on this contract, I don't want to, breach or anything or copyright. So I'm just going to talk about it. I won't show you the actual contract, but um, there are three different companies that wanted to be policy um, holders on our insurance. So that was, absolutely out of the question. We weren't doing that anyways.
That was definitely a red flag on that one because you have three companies, LLC companies themselves, like, and that's asking a lot. So anything that happens to them, our insurance gonna have to
Cover
cover
them.
that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and I don't think that's to me. I don't think that's fair, but that's how they, I guess, run their business. But we wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, we weren't comfortable with that. Um, and as far as the insurance, I asked her. I said, well, can we see your insurance to see
Hmm.
if you have any other policy holders
Right,
on your insurance,
hmm,
because you are a subcontractor as well. And so
right.
she was like, well, no one ever asked us for that, and she just gave me the runaround. So at that
Another red
point,
flag.
yeah, at that point, I knew that it wasn't something that was worth putting my company and my hard work into jeopardy and possibly getting sued or something like that happen, or someone put a claim in on your insurance, because once your claim, these people put claims in on your insurance will go up, guys, and you want to stay at a minimum. You don't want any claims actually, so you always want to make sure it is the right move for you and your company, and all money isn't good money. So moving
That's
right
so true.
along, yeah. Moving right along, another thing that stood out on this contract were the dates. The dates were totally wrong on the contract. I mean, the contract kind of looked like they printed it off a line, didn't
Yeah.
change any dates. Um, it was just a big mess. A lot of inconsistency throughout the contract. And I think the contract was about
What was that, like the summer of last
15,
year?
15 pages long.
Yeah, that was a long contract.
It was about 15 pages long. The start date, we're supposed to clean in November. The start date for this particular job was in June of this year.
Hmm.
So she wanted us to sign a contract for November, and here it is.
June,
We're in
October.
October. It's now November. This happened last month, guys. Just a little fast forward. But the contract stated that it was taking place in June, and this is not June. June has passed already. So we would have, if we wouldn't had proofread over the contract and just signed it, then we would have been responsible for whatever happened in June. And that wasn't going to be the case because, I'm Inspector Gadget. I'm reading everything.
And my people, if you have a contract and you don't quite understand, don't be afraid to get a lawyer or somebody who knows about the laws and stuff to look at your contract. Somebody that you trust, look at your contract and make sure everything on there is a go. Because sometimes where you're so happy that you got the contract,
Right.
and then you read the contract, you skim over it, but then you miss some real,
Important key stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it can mess you up on the back end.
Right. Also, as well, in your area or wherever you're from, sometimes lawyers will read your contracts with free of charge. So just ask your local lawyer or someone with knowledge in reading contracts to look over it to make sure what you're signing is you comprehend everything
Hmm.
correctly
Yeah.
or whatnot. Um, so moving right along, the next thing we're going to talk about being policy holders on the contract. And I really talk a lot about this, guys, is because, we have three different companies that she wanted to add on our policy, and you shouldn't do that because you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your brand, everything that you worked hard for, and this isn't the way to go. So
No, it's not.
when you have a lot of different subcontractors working in one area or one building, if you don't feel comfortable with going forward and doing that, that's something you don't have to do. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure you proofread, guys. That is a big must. And just make sure that you have somebody on your team to go with you if you're not sure, because no question is the wrong question to ask, and if you don't know, you should ask.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Like it. This is just so funny here because none of these people on here is even in the field of doing the work that we do, but they have to be insured. So it's like, wait a minute, am I missing something? Is it
And this was a separate page, and
right?
the people that are listed, she wants us to list on as a policy holder, they weren't even on the contract, guys. So you have to watch what you're doing. If you don't, people will get you, and they will get you.
That is a no. Do not fall prey to these people because
Yeah.
even in this type of industry, the cleaning industry, there is a lot of scammers. So I urge y'all to pay attention. Always read your contracts.
Always read your contracts and don't put yourself in a position to get scammed. And you can receive all your money up front. You know what I'm saying? Once you sign a contract, and that means once you sign a contract, that means you are binded to a legal agreement. So you will be able to get your money up front because you have this piece of paper, you have a legal document stating this is what's going on and this is how you're going to get paid,
Right.
when you're going to get paid, how you're going to get paid, if you have it going into an account, if you want to get paid by check,
Hmm.
or if you want to do cash app or
Cash app.
anything
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. So just make sure you don't put yourself in that position to get scammed, because there are people out here that don't care about you and they only want a dollar. So just make sure you have all your, as far as your payments, you make sure you knowing how you're going to get paid for doing the job, because no one wants to do the job and then at the end say, oh, I thought this was happening, or I thought I was getting
Right.
paid this way, and they saying no, that's not what we agreed on, and you don't have it in writing, and so you're pretty
Mm.
much fucked.
Cause I'm gonna tell you, do not. I never start a job without payment first. You got to have that payment. Once that payment gets into your account or whatever, or how they pay you, that's when the work starts.
Exactly.
Moving right along.
All right. Another issue that stood out on this contract, guys, was they wanted a lien release for the present payment. and this was a big no that I wasn't agreeing to, another no I wasn't agreeing to. So make sure that you don't have one of these on your contract. If they say, oh, um, we can put a lien on your payment if something isn't right, or if they could put a lien for any reason, right? So just make sure this is not an option. It's not an option. You do the service, non-refundable, okay,
That's right.
and you go from there. And if the job isn't done correctly, then whoever your cleaners are, whoever you have cleaning for you, they should go back and recheck behind themselves, do the job properly, and clean, because that's what you're paying them for, to do the job, to do a good service. You know what I'm saying? If they're not doing a good job, then you have to let them go. And
Don't need them
that's a topic we have on another
on another. Yeah.
on another day. But moving right along, never let anyone um, have a lien release for payment, for present payment on a contract that you're trying to sign, because that can stop your the payment process for any little thing. They could say you didn't show up at a certain time, and you were maybe there before time, but hey, you know it didn't work for me, guys. So
Yeah.
I was not definitely signing this contract.
You gotta
So,
watch that when you sign a contract, because
oh yeah,
they can also at any time deduct anything. Just say if you break something, it might not be real major. They can actually take that from your pay that you
yeah,
get,
yeah.
and
Or they might be like, hey, you have a lien of release for the present payment that we're paying you on, and this happened, so we're gonna put a stop on the payment until we receive our money for the merchandise that was broken, or the claim, until the claim goes through, and then you'll finish getting your money. But other than that, guys, you shouldn't do it. Just stick to the simple stuff. And if you don't know the complicated stuff, I don't know everything, but I do my best to try to get you through. Just starting off, being a new cleaning um, business owner, and just looking over your contracts and making sure the contract, you're providing the service, your dates are correct, the services you'll be providing also is a good thing to add in your contract. If you're doing inside services only, your contract needs to say that I'm providing inside services only. No outdoor services. If you're doing a deck, I'm doing outdoor deck services, no inside services. So they can't say, oh, I don't want to pay you because you said you were going to do this and you didn't provide the service. And so, you know, people throw so many wrenches in there to try to stop you from getting paid as well. So you have to be aware of people like that. So, do you have anything else, insight on any advice?
don't sign no contract. Don't never be in a position where you signing a contract because you feel like, oh, you getting desperate for contracts, and you got to pay this, you got to pay that, you got to pay this. I'd rather go through that than to sign a contract which pretty much keep my arms tied. I can't do anything. I'm gonna lose out not only on money,
Mhm.
time, resources, and a lot of other areas. So look, don't get in this situation of signing these contracts, because I surely don't. The contract not right, I'm not signing it. That's it.
That's right, guys. So always remember, just protect yourself, protect everything you work so hard for, and just continue to push forward. And if you don't know something, always make sure you have someone in your corner to help you, or you can always reach out. YouTube, we have so many videos up here to help you. If I didn't know something, I would go to YouTube, I would Google it. You would ask. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So always just remember there's someone to help you. You're not alone. So just always remember, you know, put your best foot forward, believe in yourself, and just push forward, and you got this. You got this. So to my new business owners, it might be hard at first, but once you get in there and you start cleaning, you do your first, second job, your work might start to pick
Mhm.
up. You can hire people, and when you start dealing with people, that's another topic as well. But for right now, that's all we have to say. I'm not gonna hold you long. Um, that's all we have to say about the contracts and the advice we have to give
That's it.
tonight on that. So thank you for listening, and we appreciate our subscribers. Remember, subscribe to our channel, guys,
Click,
please.
click.
The link in the bio. Thanks.